Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm your host, Neo, and today we'll be talking about an important key element to trading safely and successfully. Today's topic is trend and how to identify it. And to round this topic nicely, we'll also be covering other topics like trend lines and also using multi-time frame analysis. We have a lot to cover today, so buckle up. Before we start, here is the disclaimer. This is not a financial advice. I repeat, this is not a financial advice. Verified and I and all the members in this Discord group are not responsible for anything you do with this information we share with you. We are just people sharing information to help you understand Boom Hunter better. Most, if not all of this knowledge and information are not mine. I'm just a messenger delivering information to the people who want to learn. With that out of the way, let's begin. For Boom Hunter users, it's very simple. It's an uptrend when it's a teal color, and it's a downtrend when it's red color. Joking aside, it is that simple, but there are more to it than just that. You might have heard things like, the trend is your friend, the trend always win, bet with the trend and go to the beach. Or maybe the most repeated, verified statement in our Discord group, no reversals. These tattoo-worthy statements are telling you how important the trend is and how it is a key element to many successful trading strategies. So what is a trend? According to Investopedia.com, a trend is the overall direction of a market or an asset's price. In technical analysis, trends are identified by trend lines or price action that highlight when the price is making higher swings highs and higher swings lows for an uptrend, or lower swings lows and lower swings highs for a downtrend. Identifying the trend and trading with it makes odds on your favor. And just as a friendly reminder, you are learning technical analysis and using indicators to get an edge, which to have a higher probability for one thing to happen over the other. In this case, winning. There is definitely more to this sentence, so we will be talking about that in another video. So betting with a trend is an important step to take if you want to win trades. And who doesn't like winning? Yeah, who doesn't like winning? I'm almost convinced that people who scalp reversals on a faster time frame definitely do not like winning, or they wouldn't do what they're doing. I'm not going to talk more about this, as Verified has been talking about this topic for over a year now in our Discord. It's even written in our wiki, by the way. So enough have been said already. In the last video, we've talked about how to set up your chart with two different Boom Hunter XL. And to understand the trend and to make use of multi-time frame analysis today, we'll be using Boom Hunter X setup, since it's only showing what's really important, which makes it easier to use and understand. Keep in mind that Verified made Boom Hunter X to help you learning Boom Hunter XL. Boom Hunter X have the basics and the important things that beginners need to focus on. As recommended, please use all three presets on your chart, and you can overlay Signal XL on Boom Hunter X presets 1 if you like, but it's not really important for today's lesson. We are all set up. To check the stronger trend, we have to zoom out, usually using slower time frame like the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. Makes it easier to see what's really happening with the pair we want to trade. The slower the time frame, the stronger the trend, and also the stronger the signal. It's not really about the tools we are trading with. It's all about reading the price action accurately, and Boom Hunter will definitely help you with that. So these are the basics. So as you can see here, it is an uptrend when it's become teal color, and it's a downtrend when it's a red color. And I marked the beginning of the upper trend and the beginning of the downward trend. So in the upper trend, we'll be looking for signals that confluence with a trend, in this case, long signals, and we got this pullback signal. Also on the downtrend, we'll be looking for a shorting signal, and we got this here. Another thing that I do when I notice the uptrend, on the daily, I go to the 4-hour. And in this case, the 4-hour gave a great pullback entry right after we entered the trend. You also need to train yourself that up is also down. What I mean by that is in the uptrend, we need to look for long entries, but also is a short setup. And in a downtrend, we need to look for short entries, but also it's a long setup. I find that to be a good segue to talk about trend lines. They are an important part of price action analysis. Use them to keep track of the price action, as they will show you the stronger trend and prepare you for what's coming next. A trend line is basically connecting two or more pivots with a single straight line, but it's an art. When drawing trend lines, keep these things in mind. They should never be forced. Trend lines should be beautiful. Trend lines evolve and have to be adjusted as the price action evolves. So trend lines need to be constantly adjusted and often make the chart a little bit messy. However, you don't need all the lines, you just need to find the active ones. Less is more here. Trend lines are fractal, which means they appear across all time frames. So draw them using the top-down multi-time frame analysis approach. I personally start from the daily to see the direction of the bigger trend, then move to the 4 hours to track the price action, and if needed, I'll go to the 1 hour to look for entries. Price action will continue in the same direction, meaning it will respect the trend line until it set up another move. Breaking a trend line does not change the underlying trend to the other direction directly. More work typically needed to turn the trend, like pullbacks and different structures of lower high, lower lows, and so on. So when the price break the trend line, it will most likely keep going until it changes direction. Trend lines do not offer standalone trading opportunities. They are simply get ready warnings, so do not trade the breakouts. Trend lines are like any other technical analysis patterns. They are much stronger and more reliable when combined with multiple methods and tactics, like price action patterns, pullback, continuations, support and resistance, supply and demand, etc., etc., etc. Finding confluence is important here, but do not overdo it because confirmation bias is the real thing. So to put all of this knowledge together, this is how to go about finding trends, drawing trend lines, and trading them. The best way to set up trades is to first start by drawing some lines, then use Boom Hunter to confirm these moves. I start by drawing on the weekly, then the daily to identify the general trend. Then check the 4-hour time frame to look at the trends within the bigger trend. Then I start planning for the coming trades. In an uptrend, I will look for a pullback onto the line to trade with the trend. And in a downtrend, I will look for a pullback up to the line to trade with the trend. These make great entries because you're trading with the trend. When a price action breaks a trend line, it will want to come back for a retest. It will either get rejected or it finds its way back to the trend line and continue its journey with the trend. These are also good moments to enter trades. If it gets rejected, you are entering a first pullback to confirm the new trend. If it doesn't get rejected, wait for it to cross back over the trend line and then pull back to the trend line to confirm. Entering at this point is a first pullback of continuation. Both entries are great. It doesn't matter what the chart is going to do. It will present these entries to you nicely either way. Remember that you don't have to trade everything, so only trade the things that match your trading strategy. Also remember, never to try to guess what is the market is trying to do. Never assume, never trade on impulse, only react to what is happening in the market. Because guessing, assuming, and hoping are basically gambling in the trading world. And to be safe, always trade with the trend. A long entry should not be considered until it breaks a long setup, and a short entry shouldn't be considered until it breaks a short setup. This is all I've got for you today. I hope you learned something new, and please feel free to rewatch the segments that you want to learn and practice. I remember it took me a few weeks to master trend lines and to really understand what's really going on. So rewatch the things you want to rewatch, and if you have any questions, Verified and I and other members of the Discord group will help you out if needed. All the best. Until next time.